Hello everyone, how are you today? I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. My name is Deborah Breckenridge and today is demo day. If you are new here, hello, welcome to Quiltster Tutorials. A few times per month I like to sit down with you and talk about what's new in the marketplace and demonstrate the most asked about features of the quilt planner and answer your questions at the same time. If you are a beginner quilter and want to learn the most efficient and fun way to plan projects, or if you're an experienced quilter looking to take your quilt planning to the next level, then make sure to subscribe at Quiltster.com, where you can choose fabric for pre-designed patterns to see the look of your finished quilt before buying supplies. You can become a member for $9.99 per month or $99 per year. The annual plan is the best value, giving you 2 months free. Stay tuned for a coupon code at the end of the video to get a discount on a subscription, which is a great way to try out the program if you have not done so yet. If you have questions along the way, please ask them in the comments and I'll answer them as we go along. Let's go ahead and get started. I want to start by first going into the marketplace and let's see what's new there. So I'm at Quiltster.com. This is our homepage. Let's go over to the marketplace and see what is new. I'm going to just check the comments here really quick, make sure I've got that up in case anybody has questions. There we go. All right, so the Quiltster marketplace is stocked with kits, patterns, and fabric that are supplied all by quilt shops across the country. So we partner with these quilt shops. You can see who they are here in the sidebar. And every day almost we have new kits posted from all of these shops, and these are all available to purchase. And as you can see, I am not logged in. The marketplace is free to everyone. So if you're looking for a new project, this is a great place to check every day. I would probably bookmark this in your browser and just come by every day and see what's new, because some of these kits there's only a few in stock and some have more. But as you can see, there's new patterns, new fabric lines, and just lots of really fun things. So definitely check this out. You can see who is shipping your product. So this one is sold by Stitch and Snip. This one is sold by Pine Needles Quilt and Sew. These are all quilt shop partners of ours. Cactus Quilting, so on and so forth. You can also sort this, if you're not, you can sort this by what's on sale. You can look for a specific pattern. Let's say you want to, let's see, the Congo Star. It's a good one. Somebody has a Congo Star kit. And you can clear that filter by clicking this little X here. So definitely check this out. I know we all have several projects in the making, but sometimes you just want to prepare for the holidays or just get something really unique or something new like these here. So that's what is in the kits. Under patterns, a very similar situation. Lots of new patterns. The Honeycomb is newly posted in our marketplace. And with patterns, you can just go ahead and add those to your cart. If you are a Quiltster subscriber, you can also customize it with your own fabric, which is what we're going to show you how to do today. And lastly, in the marketplace, we have fabric, which you can purchase by the yard. So you can, again, filter for anything you want here. But let's go back to patterns. Now, there's a couple different ways to log in. I'm just going to go ahead and go through the pattern. If I click customize, it's going to prompt me to log in. I am a paying member, so it will take me into the pattern page. So now I can customize this pattern. Another way you can do it, you can see now I'm logged in. My avatar is here at the top right of your screen. And if you, when you first sign up, this will be a blue bubble with your initials in it. But as you can see, I've put a picture of me. You probably can't really tell that's me and my dog. And you can update your picture here under personal information. You just click on this bubble which again will just be a blue bubble with initials in it when you first sign up. And that takes you to your account page where you can see your current subscription plan. So this always shows you your plan, and then underneath it, you'll see what you're paying. So if you have a coupon on your account, this will always say how much the plan is worth. And then underneath here, this will tell you how much you are paying and when your next invoice is gonna come up. So I get that question a lot from customers is, when is my next invoice due? And you can see it right here on your account page and how much you're paying. Anyways, you can update your picture here. Click the pencil and change your picture if you'd like to. And let's go ahead and go back to the quilt planner. Now that I am logged in, that tells me I am logged in. Let's go ahead and create a new project. And when you do that, it takes you into the pattern library. You can see that highlighted here on the left-hand toolbar. So the pattern library is where you will see all of the customizable patterns. So in here, we've got basically every single pattern that we put into Quiltster begins as a quilt planning project. So some of them, let's see, these ones here have prices on them, and that just means that they're available to purchase through Quiltster.com. If you do not see a price, that means it is not purchasable through Quiltster.com, but you can still customize it and choose your fabric and get your yardage chart. You would just need to purchase that elsewhere. So let's go ahead and look at Honeycomb. I'm going to customize that, and that will offer me templates to choose from. So most patterns are going to have this blank one so that you can kind of be creative and start with whichever fabrics you want to. And sometimes we'll offer a pre-colored template that you can use as a base to color your project. I'm going to choose the blank one. I'm going to give it a name, and I'm going to call this Honeycomb Demo. Create project. You can put a description in here if you want. This is just for you. So if you're making it for somebody special or for a certain reason, you can keep track of that here. I'm just gonna create the project. And this opens up the quilt planner, which is the heart of the program. This is where you get to be creative. This is where all of the fabric that you upload and that we've uploaded can be found to color your projects. Now there's a lot going on in here, so if you have a question about any of these toolbars at all, let me know in the comments so I can make sure to cover that. Otherwise, I'm just gonna go ahead and color this and have some fun. When you get in here, there are, for every single pattern is going to be different. Some patterns are what we call single block patterns, which just means I can edit the whole thing at once. This pattern has several block groups, and you can color a block group one at a time. So for example, if I hover over this pattern, there's one block group here. This has 8 blocks in this group. There's one here, 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 and here. So this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 block groups in this pattern. So you can, how you start, another question that I've gotten recently from you guys was, where do I start? And that's really personal preference. Some people like to start in the center and work their way out. Some people, it depends on the pattern. Sometimes you like to start out here and work your way in. It really just is personal preference. You can start however you want. With this pattern in particular, for me personally, I get really, I can get stuck in here, changing colors and changing my mind a lot, and then it takes longer for me to get to the outside of the quilt. So I'm gonna actually start out here. I'm gonna be a rebel and start at the border and work my way in, because I already have an idea of what I want color-wise, but this will just kind of help me figure that out as we go. So as you can see, this pattern is striped, and when you see that striped pattern, it tells me that that is what is activated. That is what I am about to add fabric to. So these outside blocks. Then I'm going to click edit, which takes me into the block editor, because now I am editing just this block. And you can see that it's highlighted here. And the rest of the quilt is faded into the background. So we're not going to focus on the part that's faded. We're just going to focus on the part that highlights as I hover over it. And you can see that happening easily here. Over on the right hand side, we have fabrics in block. So this is only going to show me the spaces within this block that is activated. So all of these little spaces that I'm hovering over that are highlighting are represented here on the right hand side, and they are labeled to match the pattern, which is really helpful when you have the pattern in front of you. You always know which fabric goes in which space. And as I activate, I'm clicking on this on the left hand side to activate different spaces within this block. So you can do it that way, and you'll notice over here on the right, H9 is now highlighted in pink, and that is what is activated here with these hash marks. So if I were to click on this piece here, you can see this piece is activated. That is H6A. So you can use these ones over here to change where you're coloring, or you can click on the pattern itself. And I recommend, if you're on a mobile device, sometimes it's easier to use the fabrics in block, because these little lines or sometimes different spaces are harder to click on the pattern. You can also zoom in if you scroll up and down, which is helpful at times. Fabrics in quilt will populate as you add fabric, and that will be a running tally of all of the fabric in your quilt, regardless of which block. And then of course we have the fabric. So let's go ahead and color. I'm going to open the filters, and I'm not worried about purchasing at this moment. If I thought that that might be something I want to do, you would definitely turn on the products I can buy toggle, which will only show me marketplace fabrics. Okay, I'm going to turn that off because I want all the fabric. I'm just coloring right now, and I'm going to go to fabric companies. And Majestic Batiks, we just put in a bunch of Majestic Batiks, so I want to show those to you. And those are going to be color groups. What I like about some of the way they did their collections this round was they have them in basically color groups. So like blues and greens, you're going to find blues and greens. And things like that. So let's go ahead and take a peek at some of these. There we go, some blues and greens. I actually might want to do, let's see, I Love Lucy. I will show you, if you are interested in seeing how to upload your own fabric, let me know in the comments. I might cover that in a future tutorial. But if you want to see that today, let me know. All right, here we go. This is what I Love Lucy looks like. I think I might want to try Snapdragon. Is that the one I wanted? Yes. I love this colorway. So let's go ahead and pop this one in there. And I'm going to put it in these spaces as well. Now, since I've already chosen this fabric, I can put it, I can now click on fabrics and quilt, or I can click on the actual swatch down here. So you have options on how to access those fabrics once you use them. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in here. And these are two different fabrics, as you can see, but they look the same. So I'm going to grab that one, and I'm going to put it in here. And I'm going to put it on these little, I'm highlighting this really small sliver border piece, HA8. And put that there. Where else do I want this? I think in these spaces. It's something that I like to do when I'm coloring. Everybody does it differently when they're planning their quilts, but for me, it's easier to visualize when I lay down a base color, and then I can go back and make changes as I see fit. That is not how everybody does it. That is just how I do it. So I'm gonna start by making this deep teal turquoise color my base fabric for what I think I want my quilt to look like in the end, and then go back and make some replacements. That is what works best for me. That is not how everybody works, and you just kind of have to play around. I'm sure you have your own methods. If you have a different way of doing it, let me know in the comments what works best for you. How do you plan your colorways when you're coloring in Quiltster or when you're using some other method? So I'm gonna actually put those, let's see, I want it in this space, I think. And then I want it to be all the border pieces. So again, this block has 4 spaces. I've got this one here, which is C3. This one here that I've colored, which is C4. This border ribbon, which is C2. And this background piece, which is C1. I don't think I want it to be this background piece yet, so I'm gonna save and close. And you can see already what it's starting to look like. And again, I like to lay down my foundation fabric and then go back and make changes. That's just how I work. I also enjoy removing the block lines. So in this view, you can see these lines which identify the different blocks. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of those by clicking the grid button up here. And this is kind of where these tools come into play as you're working. So if you keep your eye on this line that's very visible right now, oops, you can also click and move your project around like I did. I'm gonna click this and it's gonna disappear. I like to just see it just like this. So I like to keep those lines off. You can change the background to be darker, which really is helpful if you're making a very light colorway or a white background on your quilt. Changing the background here to be darker will really make that stand out so you can see the quilt for what it is and make some decisions there. So I'm going to leave that off though, because mine is kind of a dark colorway. And also at this point, if you were to leave the quilt planner, you can definitely do that. Down here at the bottom, it tells you the last time your project saved. If you're like me, anytime I'm in Photoshop or any programs, I always do an extra save. You don't have to do that in Quiltster unless you've turned off the autosave. So I do want to talk about that really quickly. As you color, here, let me actually make a change and I'll show it to you. Let's click into here really quickly. And let me color this piece. I'll just put the turquoise in there. I'm gonna use the smaller one. So watch, when I click save, you can already see it starting to save down here. And it already saved, there we go. I just triggered a save because I made a change in my project. If you are finding that if you have slow internet where you are, or if you have an older computer that has trouble running programs like Photoshop and maybe Quiltster and things like that, what you want to do is turn off all your other programs, but you might want to pause the autosave. So I'm going to do that right now. And what that will do is it will not save my project until I click the save button. And that's really important to remember. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it. And it's going to tell me this will pause the autosave, and it's not going to save anything unless I click save. So it says right here, failure to click save may result in lost work. So I'm going to accept those conditions. And now I can see that autosave, if I want to start it again, I have to click this button. So right now, if I make a change, let's go ahead and do that. And let's make this, let's just put it back here, this fabric. I'm going to click close, and no save has triggered. So if I leave here, I'm going to do it, guys. I'm leaving the project editor. And and here's my project. I'm going to go back in. Okay, let's go back into the project. And I want to show you how that works so that you can have the information when you are building your project. There. You can see that it did not save my last change because I paused the autosave, made a change, and then I did not save it again. So if you have I'm going to pause this again. I'm going to make my change. And now I'm going to click save. Now I am saving my project. So this piece will be saved again. So just make sure that if you pause autosave, which I do recommend, again, if you have slow internet or anything like that, or are on an older device, go ahead and pause the autosave, make all of the changes that you want to make, and then click save when you're ready and you're happy. But make sure to click that save button, or else the work will be lost. I'm gonna start autosave because I forget a lot. So I like to have that safety net there for me. So let's go ahead and finish putting our foundation. I just like doing it this way. And I'm gonna put turquoise in all of these spaces. And then I'll go back and replace it with something else as I see fit. Which is really why I love Quiltster, because I can do that and really see where I need more pop, more color, and make changes as I go. I think I want this one to be dark. And again, this isn't, I'm just coloring a project, you guys. Actually, I'm making this for some promotional pieces. And I thought I would answer your questions as I go along. So if you have questions, please ask in the comments. You can also just post them to Quiltster on Facebook page or the Quiltster Support Network. Let's see here. What do I want to do? I think I want this and these little spikes to be the same color. So do I want them to be, I think I want them to match these spikes, just like the example one. I am following the guidelines of the cover sheet photo a little bit, just to kind of help me out. So with that, I am going to color this one the dark blue. And I'm actually going to change this border piece to the smaller pattern. There we go. That's kind of the foundation. I need a light color. I'm not totally satisfied with this, so I'm going to, let's go choose a light color. I'm gonna go to a different, in Island Boutique, they have a lot of neutrals, and I just put in all their 2021 basics. So if you need some new basics, check them out. And they actually had them categorized for us by color group, which is great. So if you're looking for a green, there's multis in here, neutrals, oranges, purples, pinks, reds, teals. They're nicely organized, so you can go right to Island Boutique Basics and just search for 2021 Basics, and you'll see them come up. Let's look at the oranges. Like teal and orange might make a good combination. And I'm gonna collapse these filters so I have more room on my screen to see all of the oranges. Looks like there's yellows in here too, but that's fine. Let's pick, what should we pick? Let's pick, I'm gonna highlight this background color. This is too peach, possibly a little multi going on there. Don't know, not sure about that, but let's just go with it for a second. Just for a second. Okay, let's take a look. What do we think? I like the colors together. I'm not sure I love that placement of this one. Let's grab some neutrals. That one might work. Might be too light. Which one do we like? Do we like that one? That one? Not sure yet. Okay, let's try it in here so that these two match. And then I need something similar for here. Let's go back. And this is kind of where you can just kind of hang out, and it's really relaxing to just play with fabric. Now I do want to show you, if you have uploaded your own fabric, you can find it in here. I do recommend that you clear your filters between filter searches, because these will waterfall, meaning they layer on each other. So I want to clear those filters and get a completely fresh search, which means if I wanted to buy these, just remember guys, to put the products you can buy, toggle it back on. So I'm actually going to do that because I want to show you some things in the yardage chart. So let's go ahead, and now this list is going to change because I am only looking at purchasable stuff. So let's see what we have in Island Boutique. It's a much different list. Ooh, olive there. I love olive. Beautiful. Not quite. Ooh, those do kind of go together though. Interesting. Let's see what we got here. Another thing you can do is you can favorite. Click the little heart, and if I clear my filters, you can access all of your favorites inside of the Mine filter if you want to just kind of collect things and start building your own little custom fabric collection based off of other multiple collections that you have favorited swatches in. Clear my filter. And let's go back. I'm gonna go back. See how this is off now because I've cleared my filter. Very, very important. And let's go in here and go back to Island Boutique. Okay, blenders. Ooh, I wonder if we could, oops. But I just scrolled up and down to zoom in and out, which is another thing you can do. Are all the fabrics batiks? Hi, Debbie. Debbie asks, are all the fabrics batiks? No, we do have batiks and cottons in here. Currently, we have them filtered by collection only, so you can search by company, designer, or collection, but we do have cottons mixed in there. I hope that answers your question. Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and put this one in here just to move along. Ooh, nope. How about that one? Phew. And let's put them orange in here. Great question, Debbie. Thank you for asking. Now this pattern, you know what? Let's see if I can rotate this. Let me go ahead and add some fabric in here first. And I believe in this pattern, because this is a diamond, it might be able to be rotated. So let's find out. And I'll show you how to easily find that out. If you're not sure in your coloring, it's very easy. Let's see. Let's make this the darker orange. And let's make those spikes match this orange. And I just used these boxes because it was quicker for me to click and change the fabric than to click over here and then click over here. So let's do that. And I'm just going to quickly color in this remaining pieces. And I'm probably going to go back and add more color to this later, but I would like to show you a couple things now that I'm thinking about it for the advanced tools. I really like this fabric though. It's like a sherbet. Okay, so one thing I can do, again, I like to remove the grid lines and just look at the fabric and the picture as a whole. I already see some changes I want to make, but for now we're going to leave it. Over here in details, if I click on the details button, it will pull out a little side panel that will tell me if my quilt top, which is the project that you're seeing, is complete. So sometimes these little lines here, or you might have flying geese or small pieces that you can easily miss. It might say 99% complete, which just means there's something that needs fabric added. So that's a really great tool to help you figure out if you've finished the project backing and binding. Let's talk about that in a second as well. I'm going to close that. The yardage chart is just that. This outlines by fabric. Now, did I add anything I can buy? It doesn't look like I did, and that's fine. If I could purchase this fabric, there would be a little green shopping cart next to the swatch information. So I don't have that on any of my fabrics, which means it just means that I can't buy it through Quiltster.com. Might be able to find it online somewhere else though. By block shows me the block label with the amounts for each fabric, which is handy. And by group is those block groups. So each one is listed here as well. Okay. Let's go ahead and go to the print page. And this will load my project. And this will print out a beautiful image of your project. On this page, you can click on it to get an expanded view if you want to see it up close. You can definitely do that, which a lot of people like to do. And here's the print button. So you just click it and it will print an image along with the yardage chart. Depending on your printer, you could save it as a PDF to your computer, which a lot of people do as well, or you can just print it out on your printer. I'm not going to print this right now. But something to note, if you want the by block list, you need to toggle to by block and then click the print button and it will give you that view. Okay? And then if you want to share your project with somebody, now this is where you can work with your local quilt shop. If you created a project in Quiltster and you cannot purchase the fabric through Quiltster, you can still contact your local quilt shop and send them this link using this button. So for example, I would just say buy fabric because it tells you the fabric and how much you need. And then use this link and you can send it to them, which I'm going to do right now. I'm not going to send it to anybody, but what will happen, let's go to, I'll show you in an incognito window. So when the recipient of your email gets this link and they click on it, this is what they will see. They will see your print page, a picture of your project, the pattern information, the fabric information that they can actually toggle through these 3 views. This is a live and active page for your project, okay? Now, if they do not have a Quiltster subscription, that is fine. They will see this page. They just won't be logged in, which means they just can't use the quilt planner, which is totally fine because you just need them to see your project and all of the information. This is the only way that somebody would be able to see your fabric for your project, is if you share it with somebody using this little link, okay? And what's great about this is the quilt shop can receive this and they can look at it and say, you know, we have this tangerine, but we don't have this fabric here. However, I have a similar fabric, and they can either email you a link to their online store where you can see the image of the fabric, save it to your computer, upload that to your Quiltster account, put it in your project, and see if you like it. Now, we might also have the fabric that they have in Quiltster, so you can search by SKU. And, oh, I'm in incognito. Let's get out of here. And then see if it looks good in your project, and then make your purchase through them. Is everybody with me so far? On this whole scenario? It sounds complicated, but it's really not. You're just sharing your project, and they can say, oh, here's a suitable replacement. Would you like to make this purchase? And you would say yes, and then follow through that way. So again, if you don't have the project, or if we don't have the fabric for sale in Quiltster, this is a great way to build a relationship with your local quilt shop and start that with them, and they can supply, and it's local. You can either pick it up, or however they do it, have it shipped. It's really easy to see exactly how much you need, which is super simple for the shop to cut and prepare for you. So I love this tool specifically for that. And all you've done is you've paid for your subscription, and then you've worked with your local shop. Now, if you can purchase through Quiltster.com, there might be one fabric that you're missing, and you can do this the same way and get that from your local shop. So we really strongly encourage you to work with your local quilt shops and really support the quilting industry. We all need some love right now, so definitely reach out to them once you finish making your project in Quiltster, and especially if you used the fabric that is not currently sold through us. See if they have it. See if they have a suitable replacement, and play with it in your project. Now you can also, I do recommend, if you are happy with your project and you want to try other colors to see if they work better, make a duplicate first so you don't lose your original colorway. Because once you change it and save it, we can't revert back. So one of the ways to do that is to come in here to My Projects, which you can get to just by going to your dashboard on the quilt planner, and go to My Projects. And this is just a hub of all of your projects that you have started, anything that's a work in progress, basically anything that you have created. And then each project has this little 3-dot menu. Anytime you see these 3 little dots anywhere, you can click on it and a menu will pop up. So let's duplicate this. Let's give our duplicate a name, and I'm gonna name it Demo Dupe. Really clever, I know. Create duplicate. And now you will see it takes me right into the quilt planner where I can make my substitutions and not worry about losing my original colorway because I'm using a second project. So for example, let's go into the yardage chart. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose this fabric, because this is the fabric that our pretend shop did not have in stock. So I'm going to click on it in the yardage chart, which brings me to another little fabric stash. And I'm going to toggle over to products I can buy, just as an example. And let's put in, let's see, let me choose something that makes sense. Jewel box? I'm trying to remember which colors are in these collections from memory. Let's just, no, I don't want to do that. Let's pick marbles. It's a mode, I think. Too close. Okay, I'll try one more, you guys, and then I'll move on. But I want to show you how this works. But I really want to pick a color that you can see, that's obvious. It's too close. Let's try ancient etchings. Ooh, Jackie. Black. Sure, let's try black. So I'm going to click on this, and what it's going to do is it's going to put this fabric everywhere that fabric was. So if you watch over here, it's going to change. So I'm going to click on that, and it has changed. There we go. So now you can see this fabric here is in this block, and maybe just those two blocks. But then I didn't have to click into each block group, click on each space, change the fabric, click on this space, change the fabric, come out here, save, click on this block, so on and so forth. This will do that for you. And here you can see the little shopping cart, which tells me I can buy this through Quiltster. Did everybody follow that? And now I can come in here and make some other decisions on what I might want to do. So maybe I want to change this to black now. Put that fabric in there. And continue coloring and editing and coloring and editing. Remove those grid lines because we know that I don't like those. And until you're satisfied with your new project. Okay. So lots of different ways to edit. And again, if you, let's say this is the fabric the shop had in stock and the SKU is in Quiltster, so I can come in here and play around with it and then resend them my print page list with the new fabric requirements. So it's really fun and easy to use. Let's see, what else can we do here? Maybe we're not loving all of this. Let's go ahead and change just to see what happens. I'm going to make that one black too. So now I just have this fabric, the tangerine, and the vanilla. Really 3 fabrics. But of course, if you have a rainbow pattern, you'll have a lot more. So there's another option. And it has autosave for me. So I know that this is safe and secure. And again, I can go to the print page. And this is my demo dupe project. And if this happens, it just means I didn't wait long enough. I'm going to go back one page and I'm going to quickly click save. Oh, it's saving for me. There we go. Now we're in business. And I'm just going to wait for that to finish saving, and then I'm going to go into the print page. And there we go. So there's my picture, my yardage chart by fabric, by block, and by group. And again, you can see all of the information. I'm going to go back to projects, which takes me to my projects page. And here you can see my blue and orange one and my black and orange one. Now, because it is almost Halloween, I'm going to probably go with this one. So we have another question from Debbie. How do you stop? I would change the colors forever. I love all of them. I know. You know, it does get addicting, and you can continually change. And, you know, I see everybody's projects, and I see some people just make duplicates and they change one color and a duplicate and change another color, which is really great because you can see, oh, I thought I loved this, but I really like this one more. And you might have 5 different colors, but you can see them all, which is so awesome, especially on this My Projects page. We can even do it one more time. Duplicate. I'm going to make a duplicate of my duplicate. Let's say demo triple. I don't know if that makes sense, but we're going to go ahead and do that. We will be showing later this month. Next week, I'm going to be doing these tutorials every Thursday at the same time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'm going to try to show different things. I really just wanted this to be an open Q&A so people can just ask questions. But I do want to show how to upload your own fabric. That's going to be in a later week. I do want to show mixer patterns because we're getting ready to add those to the marketplace. They are currently available in our quilt planner here to play with, but we will be adding some to our marketplace coming up very soon here. So I want to show those and just anything else that you guys want to see. So let's go ahead and let's do a purple version. What do you guys think? And I know I'm going to just cheat and go to Island Boutique's Playful Purples because I know that's where some purples can be found. And let's do grape, this beautiful grape purple. Yes, look at that. So pretty. So pretty. And then you can come in here and do some even further changes. Like, for example, let's do this one. Make it a little bit lighter. Nope, too light. Like that. And then we'll do some in here. This one. This one. Start giving it some dimension. So you can also do that as well. So anyways, like Debbie said, you can just do this forever and ever. I forgot. Let's see if, I think you can rotate this block. Let's find out. We're going to find out right now. So what I mean by rotate is some patterns, and specifically Quiltworks patterns, where we have these perfectly symmetrical shapes like a diamond or a square. I think that's the only one in this. And I'm talking about the block as a whole, not the spaces in between. But so this diamond might be able to rotate, and I'm going to find out right now here with you guys. And it's not open, so it won't rotate. But on mixer patterns, which are patterns that you can choose your block designs, those symmetrical shapes will rotate. Actually, I might have one in my project I can show you really quickly without going too far into it. So there's my purple. Let's see. This, I believe, is a mixer. Let's jump into this old project and see what I can see. So it looks like it might be a mixer specific. Here we go. Yes, this is, what is this? Meadow Star Queen Flip Mixer Pattern. Yes, this is one of my favorite mixer patterns because I just really like the corner pieces here. Those are really unique, I think. So if I come in here and click this one, there we go. So I've activated this center block, And down here at the bottom, this rotate button has been activated. So I will go ahead and click it, and it just flips, it rotates that block so this piece is now on the outside. And you can give your projects a really different look by doing that. You can also unlock it, which will let you select a single block within a group. I'm going to click 4 of them. So I have not activated this whole group. I've only activated 4 of them. And I'm going to click rotate again, and it will rotate just those 4. So you can get really creative and start building a really unique project by doing that in the mixer groups. But again, we'll do mixers later in the month, but I just wanted to show that to you. It's one of my favorite features. Does anybody have any questions about the quilt planner, subscriptions, the difference between the marketplace and the quilt planner? Feel free to ask. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more dimension to my purple colorway here. Got about 5 more minutes. I'm just going to tinker around in here and see. Actually, you know what I want to do? I just had an idea. I might want to put every other one. That looks better. What do you guys think? Take those lines out. I feel like I want some light purple in the center. Let's try these borders. Is that enough? Not sure. Not sure. I'm going to zoom in by scrolling up because I really want to see just this piece. I'm going to go ahead and make these light. Yay, nay? I'll have to play around with it some more. Before I go, I'm going to go ahead and save this again, even though it already saved. That's just a personal habit I have in any program. Let me show you from your dashboard. It will have your most recent projects here. So you can quickly click into one and access it if you just want to go ahead and get started coloring. Again, in my projects, I'm going to share this one here. First, let me rename this. I'm going to name this October Honeycomb because it reminds me of Halloween. Update project. And then I'm going to share this to the gallery. Now the gallery is open to the public. Everything that you see in Quiltster.com except the quilt planner is open to the public. So anybody can access the marketplace, the gallery, the blog, or obviously our support. I'm going to go ahead and share this to the gallery. Wait for it to finish saving first. And what that's going to do is it's going to share project, share it to the public gallery. Yes, I want to share project. And once it's shared, it'll have this little flag on it that I can see in my projects that lets me know that I have shared that publicly to the gallery. So I'm going to go over here to the gallery, and there it is. It's the most recently shared project. And you can see other people's projects in here. These are all created by Quiltster members. Again, this page is public. Lots of different inspiration if you want to see what other people have done. Let's see if anyone else has colored the honeycomb. Check that little box. There we go. Somebody else did a green and gray version. Beautiful. Clear that filter. All right. In the blog, I get a lot of questions about just how to build your fabric stash, how to use specific features in the quilt planner. And I'm more than happy to ask. You can email me at info@quiltster.com and I will answer your questions. My goal is to get through every email within 24 hours. The only time that doesn't happen is, and that is on a business day week, so Monday through Friday. If there's a big event, sometimes it might take me a little bit longer, but generally 99.9% of the time I get through those within a 24-hour business day period. Inside the quilt planner on our blog, you will find information about the advanced tools in the quilt planner. And a lot of these blog posts, guys, have video tutorials that I've created to help you visualize exactly what I'm talking about. Because if you're like me, it's much easier to see it in action than to hear about it. So hopefully the videos will be helpful. And on YouTube and sometimes in the blog post, I put shortcuts. So if you just want to know more about the rotate button, you can skip ahead to 8 minutes and 58 seconds and watch that bit and learn about that feature. So all of those shortcuts are here for this video, and I talk about different features. Here's something about the unlock feature. There's a whole video about how to unlock a pattern. We showed a little bit of sneak peek on that today. So inside the quilt planner, there's a lot of information about yardage charts. You saw a little bit about that today, how to create a new project, etc., etc. Some information about mixer patterns. The other most helpful places are building your fabric stash, basically just how to upload your own fabric. Tips for uploading fabric is incredibly helpful. This is probably one of my most shared from customer service that people find helpful, is tips for uploading their own fabric. So take a peek at that. There's lots of fun information in there. And let's see, customer support. You can always reach me through this by requesting a one-on-one demonstration, which is basically what you saw today, but you would get to ask specific questions, or we could look at a specific project that you created, whatever you need. You can request information here for a pattern, or if you are, so request a fabric collection. This is a good one because, again, if you're working with your local quilt shop, if you are in your local quilt shop, putting a project together for Quiltster or for your next quilt, and you are not sure which fabric you want to use, and you say, oh my gosh, they just got in this collection, it's beautiful, I want to use this, but it's not in Quiltster. Fill out this form and send it in to me, and I will put that in for you to use in Quiltster. Now you can also upload it to your own account if you have access to the digital files by just visiting the manufacturer's site. You can totally do that too. But if it's a big collection and you don't feel like doing that, just request it from us and we'll get that in for you. I try to get those in as quickly as possible. Sometimes it does take a couple weeks depending on how big the queue is, but I will let you know when you send that in. But this is a great way to get those collections in that you need to build your next project. And then, of course, if something's going on, you can always contact me here with this report a bug form. And there's a really helpful checklist. 9 times out of 10, if you run into something funky, one of these in this list fixes the issue without any further investigation. So I highly recommend if something goes, if you like, sometimes, like I was saying before, if you have slow internet connection, you might want to pause that autosave. But take a look at this. That usually clears it up. Otherwise, lots of helpful information on that blog. Take a look there. You can also contact us, like I said, info@quiltster.com. I'm happy to answer your questions. Please join the Quiltster Support Network on Facebook. That is our group where we share projects, maintenance updates, new feature announcements, things like that. And if you haven't tried Quiltster and you'd like to give it a try, I do have a coupon for you for joining me today. And the coupon is Quiltster 5 And it's all one word, all capital. So what you would do is, I'm going to log out. You can become a member, and you would choose your plan. And on step 3, under payment details, there is a coupon code field where you would just type in Quiltster 5, Quiltster, and the number 5, all one word, and that will give you $5 off either subscription for the first invoice. So if you chose the monthly plan, it would be $5 off the $9.99. If you chose the annual plan, it would be $5 off the $99. And remember, if you did choose the annual plan, it is, this equates to 2 months free versus the monthly plan, and then the extra $5 off as well. So if you'd like to give Quiltster a try, go ahead and do that. You can manage your account once you're logged in. Up here, go to your account, and it tells you right here when your upcoming bill is and how much you're paying. So if you sign up with the $5 off, again, that's Quiltster 5, it'll tell you right here that your next invoice will be for the full $9.99. And if you don't want that to go through, you just click cancel before this date. Anytime before this date, you can click cancel, and it will prevent your upcoming invoice from coming through. If you have any questions about that, feel free to email me. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time. I hope you learned something new. If you did, please post a comment on our Facebook page and let me know what you learned today. That helps me better understand what is most valuable to you guys, and I can continue to bring you the content that you want to see in these demos. So don't forget to join me next week on Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific for another tutorial. And remember, every quilt tells a story. The best ones begin with Quiltster. Thanks, and have a great week.